What up, what up, what up? Happy Tuesday. Man, oh man. Guys, today is going to be a great episode. I'm feeling good. Are you feeling good?
Yeah.
Man. So, we finally have a guest. After being close to 100 episodes, this is episode 96, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Over a year doing podcasts.
We finally have our first guest on the podcast, and it was a great interview, great back and forth. You know, with everyone having this free time, we were trying to get more people to interview and talk about what's happening and just get to know them a little bit better. So we hope to reach out to a few other people and see if we can get them on the podcast. It would be great. Man, do we want to even say anything before we even get into the episode about who this guest is?
No, I mean, we pretty much covered it. So
Okay.
Keep on listening, but she's an amazing photographer and podcaster herself. So she's going to give us some insight on her businesses and what she's doing during this time of Corona crazy.
Exactly. And if you're a new listener, what is going on? I'm Shadell, co-host of PagingTheSimpsons. I'm joined here by my lovely wife,
Lauren.
And if you're an existing listener, yeah, what up? How you doing? You know, it's fam. You gotta give the fam like
what up, fam?
Exactly. All right, guys. So we're gonna cut right into this episode. Our guest was amazing. Definitely check out all our links down below in the description. You know, definitely a great first episode. And we hope to have more guest episodes in the hopefully coming future. With that being said, let's get on with the podcast.
Enjoy.
Peace. What is going on, everyone? I'm Shadell, co-host of PagingTheSimpsons. I'm joined by my lovely wife.
Hey, guys, it's Lauren.
And we have a very special guest. Man, it's been close to 100 episodes, and we finally have a guest, and we're super excited. Just hyped to get into this one.
So I am pleased to introduce you guys to Kaitlyn Casso. She is the owner of Kaitlyn Casso Creations, her photography business, as well as she runs her podcast inspired by her story. So welcome, Kaitlyn. How are you today?
Yay, thank you. I'm so excited to be on here. It's so exciting to be on the other side, I have to say. I'm pretty psyched.
Yay! We're so excited to have you.
Yeah, thanks for it.
So tell us about your photography business and your podcast.
Sure. So as Lauren mentioned, I am the owner of Kaitlyn Casso Creations. I am a brand photographer. So what I do is I focus on other women entrepreneurs especially, and I take photos of them in order to help them market their businesses. So these are different photos that are used on their website, their social media pages, email campaigns, blogs, whatever it might be. Just really being able to highlight them and what they do in order to help market themselves and bring the right clients to them. So with that, I also have a podcast inspired by her story, where I share these women's stories and other people's stories as well, sharing how they have gotten out of their comfort zones in order to follow their dreams and live their lives to the fullest.
Awesome. Yeah, I can personally say that I love your photography. I'm a big fan. And then also both Shadell and I have been featured on your podcast, which has been super fun, and they've come out amazing. So you do a great job.
Yeah, thank you. It was so much fun having you guys on there, and I am so honored to be on your podcast now. It's so exciting, but I love it because I'm able to really hear other people's stories. And even with people that I have been friends with for years and I have on my podcast, I end up finding out so much more than I ever knew before. So I just love this because I'm able to give them a platform in order to share their stories, explain how they got through the whole process and how they've gotten to where they are today. And it gave me the opportunity to learn way more about you guys also. So it was so cool to be able to do it separate with you guys too, and you weren't in the room with each other. So it's ooh, I can find out more now.
That's so fun.
So I know we're in not the greatest times right now, and I'm we just had this conversation with Lauren probably a week or two ago on our past episode, and I'm kind of curious, how has this whole situation with the coronavirus affected your business, if it has at all? Podcast, whatever you would like to share.
Yeah, sure. Definitely. I have to say, as soon as I found out about the coronavirus and how it was spreading, everybody knew it was going to get here and it was going to impact us as well. As much as we tried to pretend it wasn't going to and tried to ignore it, like you instantly realize, shit, this is coming our way and the same thing's going to happen. It's worldwide. So my first instinct, of course, as I'm sure was for everybody else, was to freak out inside and think, oh my God, what am I going to do now? So of course, you know, being in quarantine, I can't do photo shoots. Like, even if I try to keep 6 feet away from people, people just aren't comfortable with that. You know, I mean, it's not allowed right now either, but still, even if you tried to work around the system, nobody's comfortable with that. You can't do it. So instantly, you know, photo shoots canceled. And the tough part about that too is the time that it's happening as well. So, I mean, same goes for Lauren too, with, you know, winter being a slower season for photography. Yep. So it's already tough coming out of a slow season. And then soon as things are supposed to start picking up again, being in March, like I was so pumped up for March. I remember telling people, I was like, March is my month. Like, this is when I had so many things booked up.
Oh, I feel you.
So excited. I was so pumped up to finally like get back out there shooting again. And then bam, this happened. So it's kind of tougher in that sense because I already came out of a slow season and now it's just like dead stop. There's not even like anything coming in. I can't do anything. But I guess at the same time, you know, I try to look at everything in a more positive way. And I'm like, all right, well, at least it's not dead of summer where it is super busy season. And I already had this like feeling of, you know, being a little slowed down, just more working on like my marketing and being home more, like working on my business in the winter, that I'm able to just kind of keep extending that. So I guess it is a little helpful, but it's still just, you know, defeating in a way where as soon as you're supposed to pick up business and like get back shooting it again, all of a sudden it just comes to like a dead stop. But, you know, you can't let it get to you. So it's okay. I will work it out. But I have to say, I'm very grateful that I have the podcast at the same time because there's no stopping the podcast. You know, there's no reason why that has to stop. I like to do interviews in person. Like I did both of yours in person. And it's great because, you know, you get the vibes going together. You get to like feel each other out more when you're talking. Yep. But I also do a lot of interviews through web calls too, because there's people I interview that are out of state or maybe are just our schedules don't align so much to do them in person. So we'll do them through the web. And so luckily I'm able to still continue doing the podcast because of that. And if anything, I think right now the podcast is needed more than anything because it's all about inspirational stories, you know, inspiring people to get out of their comfort zones and follow their dreams, motivating people to do things that they've never done before. And so I feel like if anything, the podcast is needed more than it was before. And so I hope more people are listening and I just keep, you know, trying to keep my positivity up and my good vibes up because I want to be able to put that out there through my podcast and really help people during this time as well.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like we're continuing with the podcast. Like as much as it's hard to like push out content because everyone's like on pause, it's like have to continue it. It's like at least for me when I'm listening to my podcast, hearing like the regular people I listen to, I'm like, okay, it brings you some bit of like normalcy to the schedule. So it's great that you're continuing on. We have like a joke on the podcast recently of like, man, we're staying through this. Like we're trying to like just continue on and not like put the podcast on pause.
Yeah, exactly. I totally agree. Because even the other day, I went for a walk in the afternoon, and I put on a podcast episode that I had downloaded on my phone. I guess it was even back in the fall. I never realized when the episodes actually were recorded when I listened to them, but they were talking about like the holidays coming up, and I thought it was really funny. But it does bring you that sense of normalcy again because, you know, it gets you just in this zone of like what they're talking about and that's it. And you kind of forget about everything else that's going on in the world in that moment. And so I hope that I could continue bringing that to people too now.
Yeah. And yeah, your podcast is needed, and especially in this time where it's like everyone's kind of just at home, like they're kind of figuring out what they're trying to do. It's nice to have like motivating content for everyone to listen to and like just encourage you to do your next move. Like after this coronavirus thing, I'm trying to figure out like, okay, what's the next thing we're doing? What's the next thing Lauren's trying to do for her business? It's just trying to, it's like a short pause that we hope we can get back on the bandwagon with.
Yeah. And it's, I do agree that I think your podcast is really important in particular because of the content that you're putting out. You know, people do need more positivity and inspiration more than ever nowadays, because I know that it's such a struggle, you know, with people who suffer from anxiety, depression, things like that. You know, we need better things right now. We need to focus on happiness and good things. So in that breath, what are some of the things that you're working on during this time? Because I know that personally, I'm working on some projects in my business, and I know some people are trying to, you know, create side hustles or, you know, just be prepared for after the fact. So what are some things you're working on right now?
Yeah, sure. So definitely as soon as this happened and it was like the first week of quarantine was announced, my first thought was, okay, what can I do about this? You know, I didn't want to just sit back and be like, all right, I'm just going to hide under my blankets and pretend nothing is going on. My first thought was, how can I involve my business in some sort of way? What can I do? And my first thought was actually, now, of course, my podcast, like, as we were just talking about, it's, you know, I inspire and motivate people through it. So the first thing I wanted to do was record an episode in order to try to help people feel better about this situation. And so I recorded an episode just talking about the fact of, you know, like how to adapt to change, because this is a huge moment for everybody that is just everyone's routines are mixed up. Even if you're normally working from home, there's still dampers put into your schedule. You know, you're still on a different routine, a different schedule. You have other people coming to you kind of freaking out. So how can you actually adapt to change and be able to get through this? Because that is very much outside of everybody's comfort zone, is just being able to adapt to any sort of change. And this is a huge one. Like some people are very regimented and they just, you know, stay inside their bubble, stay on their schedule. They don't even like traveling anywhere. They don't like doing anything different and not normal to them. And so no matter what in this situation, everybody has to learn how to adapt to it. Yep. So the first thing I did was record an episode talking about that and just trying to give some tips and tricks in order to be able to get through it. And then the next thing I wanted to do, I've been dying for, I want to say since probably the fall, to come up with some sort of community. So between my brand photography and the podcast, I feel like I've been really able to develop this like network of amazing entrepreneurs. And I wanted to somehow bring everyone together, but I just couldn't figure it out. Like all winter, I was trying to figure it out and I didn't want to force it. I didn't want to just do something just to do it. I wanted it to feel like it was natural and everything made sense. And as soon as this happened, somehow it's like all the missing puzzle pieces just came out of nowhere. And bam, here it is. This is exactly what I wanted to create. So I created my Facebook group. It's called Inspired by Her, a female entrepreneur community. And within this Facebook group, I have invited all of the female entrepreneurs that I know between my brand photography and my podcast, and then also had everybody else invite others as well that they know that they feel like would benefit from this community. And the purpose of this community is kind of a mix of things. One, it's especially for others to network and be able to learn and grow from each other. Because I have realized that while growing this network myself, I have been able to connect so many people with each other. Like I've been able to connect. I did a podcast episode with a hypnotist. And then I also did one with a dietitian. And come to find out, when I was recording the episode with Alyssa, who's the dietitian, she ended up mentioning how she was looking for a hypnotist to work with because some of her clients would benefit from that. So I ended up connecting the two of them, and now they're going to work together and they're going to be sending clients to each other. So it's so awesome. And I just feel like the more people I meet, I'm always trying to find ways to connect people because I just find it so important to, be able to support other small businesses. And I want to be able to do that as much as possible, whether it's me using them or mentioning and referring them to others. So I wanted to build this community so that we can do that within that group as well. And also it's giving an opportunity for me to share some like entrepreneur motivation and inspiration like I do within the podcast. But then also I come from a marketing background. So I did marketing. I graduated with my bachelor's degree in marketing, and I was in corporate marketing for 5 years, which is a big reason why I actually ended up going into brand photography, because as you know, like you have to constantly thinking of all these different marketing aspects and how you're going to be using these photos for your website and social media and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so I constantly have this marketing, like I'm always thinking that way. And so I'm also using this group as a way to give some marketing and branding tips and photography tips as well. So it's just kind of like a good mix of things. So I was really excited when I finally figured out all the missing puzzle pieces of what I wanted to do for this community. And then I made it happen. And so I created that group. And I think within the first week, I think it was like 56 people already within 1 week. And I was so excited. And I was like, hey, this is what's supposed to happen. And it's supposed to happen now, like it just felt so right. So that has been a lot of fun. And it just like is giving me even more like motivation to keep going during this time too, because it's something new that I'm able to work on and continue growing. Even if my photography had to stop, it doesn't mean that I have to stop giving tips or tricks or like teaching people how to, take pictures with their cell phones because they can't hire a photographer right now or whatever it might be. So with this time, I feel like even though one half of my business had to slow down, doesn't mean that the rest has to just stop, but it just means that I can build something that I've been dying to build. And it's been really rewarding already. So I'm really excited to see how it grows even more.
I love that. I love your group. It's adorable. It's amazing. It's inspiring. So I'm really happy that I'm a part of it. And I can't wait to see what you do more with it. I really do think, I believe that everything happens for a reason. That's one of my life mottos. And I really do think that this was the time for you. I mean, hey, it stinks what's happening. And obviously no one wants to undermine, the reality of what's happening. But at the same time, we can have a silver lining and we can flip it and we can see that light at the end of the tunnel,
Oh yeah, for sure. And it's funny because, I've heard other people saying this too, but it's like, so many of us always ask for more time. Like we're always like, if only I had more time to do this, if only I had more time to do that. And that literally comes out of my mouth almost all the time. I'm always like, there's never enough time. And now I have plenty of time to do all the things that I've been wanting to do. So I've been pretty pumped up about it.
Exactly. This is life's way of saying, hey, here's what you asked for. Now it's up to you how to use it.
Right. And at the same time, because like, even in the winter with it being slower for photography purposes, you still like feel guilty if you're not just trying to sell and like book photo shoots. And now it feels better. Like I don't feel guilty for not booking photo shoots and being able to actually sit down, work on my website and like revamp my website. Finally start blogging because I've been telling myself I need to blog and like work on Pinterest, like so many marketing aspects that I've been wanting to do. But at the same time, I'm like, okay, I'll do a little bit of this, but now I need to go like book photo shoots. I need to find ways to book people. And it's like, now it's giving me that time to not feel guilty about it and to actually just like put all this time and energy into it.
Yeah, I agree. Like that was, it was really good timing. Cause I'm like, everyone's trying to figure out what to do. And I'm like, I like that idea. I'm like, that's like it's happening. I'm like, wow. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. There's so many options. There's so much that you can do with this time. And I have to say, like, it's not like every single day I am motivated and I'm inspired and I'm pumped up and ready to take on the day. Like, I think it was this past Monday. It was really rainy and it was just like, it was not my day. And I was accepting that. Like, you also have to accept that during this time too. Even not even during this time, even normal time, especially being an entrepreneur and having so much on your plate. It's like, if you want to take a day off and do nothing and just sit on your bed and binge watch TV, then maybe your body is telling you that you need to do that.
Oh, yes, girl, you are preaching to the choir. Like, yes, that's my thing is right now, I'm just taking it day by day. Like, when people ask how I'm doing, I'm like, I have good and bad days. It goes back and forth. It really just depends on the day. And I keep telling people because one of my words for 2020, ironically enough, before any of this happened, was grace. And I've been giving myself grace to embrace the fact that I need to slow down or I need to relax or just do nothing sometimes. And so yeah, like some days I'll just do completely nothing for my business, and that's okay right now because you still need to take care of your body too, your physical, your mental, emotional, everything.
Yeah, 100%. And like Monday, I wanted to just like, for some reason, I just wanted to cry. I just wanted to cry. I didn't cry because for some reason I just wanted to come out, but I knew like I felt that feeling, you know, and it's okay for you to feel those feelings and go with it and be able to eventually move on from it. And as the week went on, every day got better and better. And I think something that is especially important during this is like staying connected with people too. Like the fact that I'm able to do these podcast episodes still has actually been like a saving grace for me too, because then it's kind of like my inspiration and motivation sparks up again. I think it's really beneficial for the fact that I do interviews and it's not just me doing the podcast myself all the time, because then I'm able to take other people's vibes too and kind of get motivated and inspired again. And then as the week went on, I was like feeling way better because I was still connecting with people gradually throughout the week. And that was so helpful.
That's very true. So I have a question here. Now, I'm hoping that, like, come early May, mid-May, that things are slowly going back to normal and everything. What's your plans for like the future after all this pause on life is over with? As far as like the business and podcasts, any ideas?
Yeah, definitely. Especially things that I already had planned on working on. Hopefully it will then happen then. So of course, like my photo shoots that I already had booked for March and April, I'm really excited to get those done. I'm hoping it doesn't take too long though, because the issue is, of course, everyone's going to want to get their hair and makeup done, like, and eyelashes done, or whatever it might be. So I'm hoping there's not a huge like wait line for that.
I know.
Right? I'm like, okay, everyone like hurry up and get their hair done instantly so we can still book these shoots. But with that being said, definitely booking those photo shoots again that I already had booked. Something I was actually planning on doing in April, and I was so close to start promoting it. And then the quarantine happened. And I was like, all right, I think you need to hold off because you don't know how long this is going to take. I'm really excited to do this. I'm planning on doing a day of mini brand photo shoots. So I actually found this location where this spot was specifically like transformed into looking like a studio apartment. And it's so cute. It's amazingly decorated, looks super modern, super chic. And what I'm doing is I'm booking 4 hours on a Saturday in order to do 20-minute mini brand photo shoots for people. So we're going to take pictures in like the kitchen area. There's like an office space, the living room, just kind of showing what they do in their everyday life, or maybe even working on the computer, getting stuff done for their businesses, in order for them to get about like 8 different photos that they can use to help market their business.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I'm super excited about doing this because I feel like so many people could be intimidated to get their photos taken. And I have packages that range from like headshots up until like a full day photo shoot, which is like 7 to 8 hours long. And if people see that, they could get really intimidated and be like, oh, I don't even like my picture taken. I can't do that many photos. So I figure this is like a really good way to get a taste of it and realize how much fun it is and like how confident they can feel during it. So I'm excited to do that and like meet new people too that way as well, because I'm hoping like new clients will come in order to do that also. So I'm really excited to do that. Even with this the community that I created on Facebook, I really wanted to do like a launch party for everyone, because I feel like it's so important for people to meet in person. Like, yeah, it's great being able to connect with people online, but it's a whole different story when you could actually be face to face. So I'd really like to do a launch event of some sort where it'd kind of be like a mix of like a party, but also networking, getting to know each other ordeal. So I'm actually thinking of even hosting that at that same location where the mini photo shoot would be. So maybe if we did that first, and then people could kind of get a sense of the place and then be like, oh, I'd love to have my photo shoot here too. We'll see what happens.
That is really smart.
Yeah, right? Because then you need to see things. A lot of times it's like, you know, if you see it, then you believe it kind of thing. And people need to just get like a little taste of things before they actually commit to something.
Yeah, no, I love that. Girl, I'm coming to that.
Yeah, awesome. Sweet. I'm excited. I also actually have, now that I think about it too, it's not until the fall, but I am photographing a yoga retreat in Costa Rica. And I was supposed to do this in May, but it got moved to, it's supposed to be the first week of May. Oh my God. So that'd be like a month from now. And it got moved to November. So hopefully everything will still be fine then. But this will actually be my third yoga retreat that I am photographing. So I'm really excited about that too. And I'm just hoping everything kind of like clears up and, you know, we'll see what happens and do that. But I'm also hoping like this year to try to start attending like speaking events and stuff. You know, it's so important to just get yourself out there as much as possible. So if I could like find some speaking events to go to, other podcasts to be on, whatever it might be. But I'm just really craving to do photo shoots. I'm like about to just find people on the side of the street and be like, stay right there. Can I just take your photo? Because I am craving it right now. It's driving me nuts.
Yeah, no, you know how like hairdressers, they have the little mannequins where they can dye the hair and cut the hair and style the hair and stuff. I'm like, I'm over here wishing there was like some mannequin that I could just apply makeup to, because I'm like going stir crazy.
Right? It's like you could only do your makeup so much. It's like, can I do somebody else? It's like Shadell's all of a sudden going to be turning into your
man, I'm running out the door.
What happens in quarantine stays in quarantine. It's fine.
Yeah,
nobody needs to know.
Exactly. I like that.
Right? It makes me think of like my niece. She like uses my little nephew who's 2 years younger than her. He has no idea what's going on, so she'll just start doing his like putting makeup on him and painting nails. Oh my God, what are you doing to him, you poor thing? And he's like, I don't know what's going on.
Oh, that is the cutest thing ever.
Right? It's like you guys could pretend to do that. Nobody will know.
I mean,
exactly. No, it's okay. You don't have to tell anybody.
I love it.
That's good. Like I'm hoping that your plans like, you know, happen and they go through. Like I'm tired of like being stuck inside, and I was telling my friends this the other day. I'm like, I just want life to go back to normal, just to go out again. Like being stuck in the house was cool for a week, and then after that, it's like, okay, I'm bored.
Right? It's like when you have a blizzard or something, and you're like, oh, we're stuck inside for a few days, and then you're like, all right, I'm ready to break out and do something else. It feels like that, but way longer.
Yeah.
It definitely makes you appreciate a lot more things in life, though, I have to say. Like everything. Just going to the grocery store.
Oh, man. We were just saying that, yeah.
Very true. So what has been keeping you sane during the quarantine, since we're on the subject?
Definitely. I mean, I have to say, I feel lucky enough to be able to work on my business. I feel like for people who are just out of a job, like say if it's a full-time job or whatever it might be, I am happy that I'm able to actually still work on my business and stay busy. I remember telling somebody, it was like one of the first weeks of quarantine too, I kept seeing all these things about people being bored. And I was like, I don't have that issue. I was like, if anything, I feel busier because I'm like, oh, now I could do this and this and this and this, and just so much work on my business. So that's been definitely helpful. And I'm already used to working from home. Like if it was anything like admin related or whatever, I'm used to that. So it's not a huge difference for me. But at first it did feel very weird not being able to go out for photo shoots and podcast recordings. But also just like doing a lot of Zoom calls with friends and families or FaceTiming with them. Like last night, we did this last weekend too. Me and my friends, like a bunch of our friends, did a Zoom call, and then we played Jackbox TV. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of that.
Yes. Oh my gosh. We have like all of them and love playing with all of our friends.
Yeah. Isn't it so much fun?
Yes. It's hilarious.
Oh, we're addicted. Like I love doing it. And it's so amazing because you could do it virtually and you still feel the same experience as if you were with them.
Yeah. Like that's our like go-to game when we have friends over. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. It's been so much fun. And then you like still feel like connected with them. You don't feel like you're missing out on anything because you're able to see your friends and talk to them and joking around, and everybody needs some good laughs right now. So anything that's going to just make you guys laugh is so important and keeping you sane.
Yeah.
So definitely been doing that. I love cooking. So I've been just enjoying having time to like cook different meals and stuff like that. I've been trying to get outside as much as possible, like going for walks in the middle of the day, or like even today, I'm hoping to go on a hike, and I've been trying to pick hikes that I'm hoping there's not going to be a lot of people there. And like,
yeah.
So I've been trying to do that also, and just like doing workouts at home and stuff. Luckily, I have dumbbells at home, so I've been able to still try to work out or do like yoga sessions virtually. But I feel like it's so important to still like let out that adrenaline and just be able to move your body a lot more. Because, man, I have to say, there's been times where I'm like, my butt hurts from sitting so long. I need to get up and move.
I know.
Like, I need to do something about this. So that's been helping.
Yeah, it's funny because I'm so used to I'll be like a mix of standing up and sitting depending on what services I'm providing, and just depending on like if I have one day and I have, services all morning and then I'm doing admin work all afternoon. So I'll have a mix, but now it's a lot more sitting. So
yeah, right? Because the same goes for me too, because if I'm doing photo shoots, like then I'm standing the whole day. But if I'm have like a work from home day, just like editing photos or whatever it might be, then I'm sitting. But I always have said I love the fact that I have the mix of both. It's not like I'm always standing or I'm always sitting. And even like the mix of being able to get out of the house, but then also have a complete work from home day. Like I always appreciate one or the other. And now it's just like all the same. So I actually made this I made like a little version of a stand-up desk for myself. Like I have this like taller dresser. So I just like cleared off one half of it, and I just put my laptop on there occasionally and just like stand there and work on it just to stand occasionally.
That's smart.
Right? Got to do what you got to do.
All right. So on those gloomy days when you're not like feeling like doing anything, I'm curious, like, have you been watching like any shows, any Netflix, Hulu, anything to like give you that like bit of relax and reprieve from what's happening?
Oh yeah, definitely. So what's funny is every time people are like saying like the latest show that they've been watching, I'm always way behind. I usually hardly watch TV. I'm always like, I just don't have time to that much. I don't know. I've just never really been one to watch a lot of different shows, but this has definitely given me the time to actually catch up now and feel like I can relate to other people. So I've started watching, so there's shows that I've started watching myself, and then shows that I started watching with my boyfriend. And what we actually did the other day was, I don't think he'll kill me for saying this, but we like both put on Netflix at our separate homes together, and we would be like 3, 2, 1, go, and hit play at the same time. And then we would video call each other on our phones so we could pretend we were still watching the show together.
Stop! That's adorable!
Yeah, because like there's shows that we started watching together, and I'm like, I still want to finish this. I can't like just put it on hold forever.
Yeah.
So we did that the other day. And so we have a couple shows we've been watching together. We started watching Narcos. The first, I think it's not the first season. It's the one that's in Mexico. I think that's or something. I never watched any of them before, but we started watching that one. And then I've also never seen Always Sunny in Philadelphia. So we actually started watching some of that too, because I think that's on Hulu, or I don't remember. He was streaming it. So it's on something, but I've never watched it before. So that's been like a good comic relief, because I just feel like during this time I need to watch like funny things and stuff.
Yeah.
Then we also caved and started watching Love is Blind on Netflix.
Oh my gosh.
Did you watch it?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Girl.
So addicting.
How far in are you?
I think we only have 2 episodes left.
Oh,
so
girl.
like the next one is the Bachelor and Bachelorette party.
Girl.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts?
Oh my God. So first of all, I hated hard on this show when I first heard what it was about. And I was like, I am not watching that. How are people watching this? It's like, that's so stupid. But I also thought, I guess I didn't hear the whole premises the right way at first. And I thought they met, and I thought they only met like twice, not even like in person, but the whole pod thing. And then got married like instantly. Like I didn't realize there was still a whole like month kind of thing going on, and then they got to hang out with each other and meet the families and stuff. I thought they were like, first time they saw each other was getting married, like walking down the aisle. So it ended up better than I thought, and I got addicted. And can I just say, Jessica drives me nuts, and I'm always yelling at the screen.
Girl. Yes. Oh my gosh. No.
Right? And I'm like, poor Mark. I'm just like, Mark.
Exactly.
You little sweet soul. What is going on here? I feel so bad for him. I want him to find true love now, because I know this is just not going to end up the way, She's crazy. She's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I'm just yelling at the screen all the time. Both of us, we're just like, oh my God. And like, we'll be having a conversation about something else, and all of a sudden my boyfriend will be like, can you just believe Jessica? And I'm like, what? What are you talking about? Oh, the show. About the show again? Like
Totally.
Oh my God, it's so funny. It's addicting. You can't help it. So just got to cave into it, and we all need some reality TV right now.
I ship Lauren and Cameron though. They're adorable.
Oh my God, I know they are. They are really adorable. I love them. I think they're my favorite couple. Them and Kelly and what's his name?
Oh God, what was his name?
I want to say it starts with a K too. No,
I know who you're talking about, but I can't remember his name.
Yeah, they are so adorable too. But since they have the least amount of drama, they like hardly show them.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Well, you'll have to let me know what you think after you finish watching the series.
Oh, I will. I'm sure it will happen this weekend. So I'll text you and I'll be like, girl, I knew that was going to happen.
Right? Or you'll be like, what?
Yeah. Oh my God, I'm so excited. I can't wait. Now I like want to watch this after. Addiction is real. Oh man. But those are mostly what I've been watching. I have to say, it's pretty nice to feel like I have time to catch up and be able to talk to people like you about shows like this.
I'll say another one to add on, since you like Love is Blind. I feel like they're similar, is The Circle. I'm not sure.
The Circle? I never heard of that.
It's on Netflix also, and it's kind of the similar thing, but it's not dating, I wouldn't say.
No, it's like a social media experiment almost. Yeah. They're in their own apartments, and they're basically isolated, and you have this like system that connects you guys. It's like a TV, and you can like text each other, and like it's very interesting, because you can be yourself, or you can catfish, and like you're basically trying to be the winner, basically, of, I don't know, how would you explain it?
You're trying to like just be the winner each week. Each week you have to like kick someone out, and I would say watch the first episode. The first episode got us hooked, and
just give it a chance.
We're in
it. Okay, sweet. I'm totally going to. Maybe that will be the next one after this, because once you finish a season of something, you're like, wait, now I need something very similar.
Yeah.
Because before all of this, we watched You. Did you watch You?
Oh, no. Yes. Yep.
Oh, my God. Yeah. And I didn't realize that the next season was going to be a year from now. And I got so upset. And I was like, how are we going to find a show that's similar to that? Like, you feel like you need to go on that, like, same theme.
Yep.
That one was really good. Oh, I was addicted hard to that one too.
I'm gonna give you another one.
Yeah.
I watch a lot of shows.
Oh, I like it. Send me a whole list.
He will.
If you liked you would probably like Dexter.
Oh, I love Dexter.
Okay.
Oh my God, yes. That was like my favorite show back in the day.
Because it's similar. I'm like, that's where you gives me the vibe of, because he's always talking to himself. He's crazy. All that stuff.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like, you know how when Dexter would go to kill someone, he'd wear his green shirt, so you always knew he was going to go kill someone? Well, it's like in You, when he would do something crazy, he would wear his baseball cap.
That's true.
Right?
Oh, wow. I never observed that. Oh, my gosh.
I know.
And I never made that correlation.
You were like, oh, he's getting bad creepy now.
Oh, you're right.
Oh my God, I loved that show. And I was hesitant on watching that because when it first came out, I was single and I was like, this is not going to help me wanting to like start dating guys and going on dating apps or whatever it might be. Pretty much. I was very hesitant on watching it. So then I started watching it with my now boyfriend. So it all works out. And then it was funny because he would be like, should I start like questioning things with you? He'd be like, are you like secretly creepy and I don't know? I'm like, me? Are you secretly creepy and I don't know? Like we would go back and forth.
Man, we're married and we're still in that mindset. So it happens.
Right? Because you see how crazy it could be and like how normal they could be in real life. And you're just like, wait a second.
Right? You're like, what are you hiding?
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God, I loved that show.
All right. So we figured we'd spice it up a bit and do like what we normally do on our regular episodes and throw in like little relationship advice topic here. This is not too heavy. It's just a silly one that we thought would be interesting. I'm
excited.
For everyone listening right now, if I mess up, as always, come subscribe. So this one goes on to say, is a pillow with someone's face on it weird? I made my boyfriend a pillow with a drawing I made on... God, yep, already killed it. On it a few months ago. The drawing is two birds in love. He loved it. He sent me a picture of a custom pillow he was designing that had him and the bird pillow next to his face. I told him I felt that his face on the pillow was weird to me. I suggested that he drew me something original to put it on. Now I feel like I've disappointed him. He seemed sad, and I even thought this was a bit weird. And I think he's taking... I'm like totally screwing this up because of their writing. It's trash.
You got it.
And I think he's taking it offensively. He's been asking me a lot for the past few days if I still find him attractive out of nowhere, but a face on a pillow isn't my thing. Am I right if it's weird or what?
Oh, so he drew a face on a pillow and then laid next to it acting like it was her?
So he gave... Oh, hold on. Yeah, so he gave him a bird pillow, and he loved it. Like, okay, cool, I dig this. And he's like, okay, I want to give you a custom pillow. So he took a picture of himself with the bird pillow and made it for her and gave it to her, and she's like, this is weird.
Oh, so like the actual picture is on the pillow.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
So my question for you guys, if Lauren, if I was to give you a bird pillow or give you a pillow with my face on it, or if your boyfriend was to give you, Kaitlyn, a picture with his face on it, or pillow, I should say, do you want that?
That is so interesting. I feel like probably not.
Oh man, I feel insulted for him.
Let's see. I feel like, so I think it depends on the picture. Because knowing my boyfriend, he would make it some hysterical picture of like a crazy ass face. And it would just make me laugh every time I saw it. So I guess it depends. I feel like if it was that, I would take it as a joke and I would adore it in a way because that's cute.
Okay.
But if it was like him smiling or trying to be like sweet or something, it might be a little creepy. So I think it's on the picture.
Yeah. I feel like it'd be weird because with a pillow, you leave it out and you want it to be like seen. And I would just be like, where do I put this? And like, I feel like you'd be staring at me all the time. It's weird.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right? And then if people saw it, you feel like you need to have an explanation.
Right?
Just,
like I'd have to like hide it when people come over.
Yeah.
Say, you love me this much. Like, you want to be with me all the time. Go, like, what?
We live together. That's enough.
Yeah, right? It's like we're next to each other all the like we sleep next to each other. We're good. Yeah, so I definitely think it depends on the kind of like if it was given as a joke, then it'd be like, haha, this is funny. And I would probably have it, but I would like hide it behind other pillows.
Right. No, totally. Because it's like, could you imagine if he was like, oh, where's the pillow I gave you? I thought you loved it. And then you're just like, you were serious?
Yeah, right? And like if it was given as a way of like, here, I just wanted to give this to you so I'm with you all the time and you can just like pretend I'm sleeping next to you, then I'd be like, all right, you are a little too creepy and too much. Like, no thanks. Like, I think we're done. Like like this is too far. I think you need to have some space from me. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so cancel that off the gift list.
Right? Like, okay, I will delete that item from my Shutterstock cart right now.
Maybe a blanket. You know, I feel like you guys would want a blanket
with just your big face on it.
I would just do a crazy, like, creepy smile and just,
no, sir. No,
make it like a cover on a weighted blanket, so then it feels like he is like literally laying on top of it.
Oh, that's good. That is a good one. No, wait.
Okay. That's good to know.
No, like a few Christmases ago, he had given me a blanket that has like, it has a collage of pictures of like moments that we've had together and stuff. And that stuff's cute. But like, if it's just like a picture of your big face, like right on it, just in the middle, like being creepy, that's a little different.
Yeah, I totally agree. Because it's different when things are like memories and you're like, oh, remember this? Like you could reminisce and it's so cute. But if it's like just a picture of your face, it's like, it seems like you're like obsessed with yourself.
Right.
And then like you're obsessed with him. Oh my God, this is so crazy.
Oh, okay.
Shadell's like, all right, okay, fine. I guess that's you.
I gotta think of some other ideas. Like, okay.
Oh, okay.
It's
You
fine.
do that. You do that.
Not even like a body pillow. You know, it's.
Oh God.
You know.
Oh, you're getting intense with it now.
Don't worry. A gift will come.
Oh, good. I can't wait.
Isn't it funny how it's different thinking if it was that versus like if it was pictures of like your dog? If it was your dog, you'd be like, hell yeah, give me everything
all day, every day.
Exactly. It's like totally different story. It's like, well, the dog doesn't know, like the dog didn't do this and she's so cute.
Exactly.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
All right. So Kaitlyn, tell us, where can everybody find you?
Yeah, sure. So you can find me. I mean, luckily I am, at least as I know of right now, the only Kaitlyn Casso in the world. So if you Google me, you'll just know everything about me.
Nice.
But and I named my company after me, so it's really easy to find. So I am at KaitlynCasso.com. For Instagram, I also do travel photography. I didn't actually really talk about that here, but that's kind of more of like my hobby. / I also do that when I do my yoga retreats. I combined like my travel photography in there as well. So if you want some travel photography, you can look at Kaitlyn Casso on Instagram. My brand photography is at Kaitlyn Casso Creations. And I also have my podcast is at Inspired by Her Story on Instagram, or you can also search just Inspired by Her Story on pretty much any podcast platform. And you can find the podcast there as well.
And everyone, links will be in the description just to make life easier. So we will put those in.
Yeah, awesome. And also, if there's any other female entrepreneurs that want to join my Facebook group, you can also search that in Facebook groups. It's inspired by her, a female entrepreneur community. So you can request to join.
All right, sounds good.
Cool.
So would either of you guys have anything else for the listeners? Any last minute notes?
I don't think I do. I think I'm pretty good.
Yeah, I think this is great.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, with that being said, thank you, Kaitlyn, for joining us on this episode. It's been great.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. This was so much fun. I'm really glad you guys asked.
Yeah, glad you can join. And guys, you know what the deal is. If you've been listening to this podcast for a while, thank you for listening. If it's your first time listening, hey, we hope you're on the next episode. Once again, I'm Shadell, host of Paging the Simpsons. I'm joined by my lovely wife,
Lauren.
and we will see you guys next week.
Bye.
Peace.